Let's go to New York now. We got Derek Dennis with us from the New York Guardians, who were victorious in his New York debut at MetLife Stadium on Saturday. Good morning, Derek. How are you?
I'm doing good, Rod. How you doing?
Fantastic. We got Nick Lewis here. I think you know who he is, and Darren DuPont. And Derek, how did it feel to be back out on the gridiron, that tiny field Saturday at MetLife, and come off as a winner? Take us through the day.
It was cool. I mean, my workload was pretty easy. I just did a field goal, being that I just joined the team about 2-3 days ago. So they want to give me some more time to get acclimated with the offense, and not just throw me out there, just to throw me out there, which I appreciated. So it was nice, man. I mean, playing in the NFL again. I met life since my rookie year in the NFL. So it was pretty cool to be back there and just, being home and being able to have friends and family in the stands who live 20-25 minutes away. It was kind of cool. So I think that's the biggest excitement I'm getting right now is that I'm able to play pro football in my backyard.
You know what? I can actually tell by the smile on your face, the look on your face, how happy you are with this decision. And as far as the American rules, because there's a big change, right? Whether you want to call it the neutral zone or whatever, the yard off the ball, was it like riding a bike for you, or what was the adjustment once you got into the game?
That was for sure like riding a bike. I think the biggest thing that I could be as an offensive lineman here in the States is that everything happens a lot quicker and the players are a lot bigger. So, the speed and the violence that I can, as opposed to what I can't do in Canada, because that yard off the ball forces you to be a little more patient, and you got to be a little calmer in your sets and stuff in order to block, D lineman or run block, because everything is more space. It's a lot more two-way goes, and down here you don't even have to worry about that. The guy's right in front of you. You can just fire off the ball and it's man on man. So I feel like I'm getting back to the football that I pretty much grew up playing my whole life, and it is like riding a bike, man. It's pretty easy to pick back up on it.
Hey, what up, Derek? It's Nick. Hey, man, how you doing?
What's good, Nick? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. People talk about your hair being black again and things like that. It's good to see you back on the field, man. You gonna play tackle or guard? And
right now,
also,
they still got me.
I was gonna say,
Okay,
and
yeah,
also, when are you going to be confident enough to say you're the best lineman in the XFL? So I know you like to talk.
Honestly, I always tell people I feel like I'm the best player every time I touch a football field, regardless of the league or who I'm playing with. So I mean, I do feel that way now. Even really touch the field just yet, but that's part of the game of football, man. You can't really touch the field if you don't really have confidence and go out there and have, faith in that you're gonna go out there and get the job done. But I think right now they got me on a mix of both. I'm actually hoping to get some center reps, just because I want to get some film that possibly maybe give me a long shot to get back in the NFL. Right now I'm not a tackle in body type and how I play the game. I never was a tackle. I didn't start playing tackle till I got back to Canada, and that's kind of just the optics of things, is that when you're American and you play in Canada, they want you to play tackle because that's just where they put you. So I always was a guard center coming up, so I'm kind of getting back to my roots of being able to play inside and mash stuff and all of that I was always programmed to be. So I'm hoping to get some guard center in while I'm down here. I'm still doing a little bit of tackle now. So who knows? I really don't know exactly where the coach staff is going to put me, but I'm always ready to go wherever they need me.
How's the caliber of football compared to the CFL? We're watching it on TV, but you're in the trenches. So how would you answer that?
It's a lot more violent, and the D linemen down here are bigger than they are in Canada. I mean, in Canada, you get a defensive end who's 220, 230, 240 on the bigger side, and down here, defensive ends are 260, 270, and D tackles are 310, 315, 320. So you're going against guys who are probably just as big as you or bigger, and they can move. And I think the violence and the violence of how heavy the guys are it's a little more violent than it is in Canada, because the D linemen are not as big. They're more agile because they got to do a lot more running because the field is bigger. So I think the biggest adjustment as a lineman that you have to deal with is that you're going to deal with guys who are a lot stronger and a lot quicker in a shorter space, because the field is not as big.
That's very interesting. Our intern, Alan, wants to know, hey, Derek, who's the best trash talker that you've ever faced?
Best trash talk I've ever faced. I don't know. Guys don't really talk smack to me. I mean, uh, normally I try to set the tone as a lineman. I'd rather be the one doing the hitting than getting hit. And normally guys only talk when they feel like they can dominate you. So, I mean, if I get a chance to rock somebody, I'm gonna let them know that they going against 345, 350 pounds that can move and that can play. So I don't really go against dude. I think the only dude will probably be Charleston. Charleston talks to anybody regardless, but I haven't really I haven't really I like the last 2 seasons I played in Canada. Hughes didn't really talk too much to me, but outside of 17, that was the only time I really heard Charleston, be Charleston. But other than that, I mean, that's probably the only dude I've gone against that talks trash.
Well, he certainly does it in the paper. I don't know if he does it on the field or not, like leading up to the game, right? But, Derek, here's one for you. I saw the crowd was 12,000 and change at MetLife Stadium. It was the smallest crowd yet for the Guardians. You mentioned that your family was there. Is there getting to be some buzz in the New York area, and do you expect that the attendance will go up? I mean, what's the buzz there in the market?
I think the buzz is going to be good. I think New York has always been a place where, if you're not winning, people are just not going to show up. So they love winners, and us getting that win the other day is going to help a lot with getting fans out. Plus, too, the weather here is cold, man, and a lot of people don't like being outside this time of year because winters are harsh, and a lot of people don't want to be in the cold. I think it was like 30 degrees at the game the other day, and it was super windy. For some reason, MetLife holds a lot of wind, so it felt like even colder. So a lot of people was having in there at the game just because of the weather. But I feel like if the weather warms up, I mean, attendance is going to go up. I mean, me being here now, everyone's that I know, my high school wants to come to the next home game. Friends and family, I'm probably going to have at least like 2,000 people in the stands for the next home game, just me alone. So, I think the attendance will go up, especially if the weather goes up. And people here, you get Jersey, New York, Connecticut, they love football, man. There's people coming from the entire tri-state to come watch the Guardians play, and the reception I've been getting since I've joined the team has been tremendous. And I think as long as we keep winning games, I think the attendance will go up.
I'm actually glad I asked you that. And of all the coverage that I read coming out of the weekend, nobody brought up the weather.
Yeah.
It was CBS Sports that said this. Thank you for pointing that out, Derek. It's a great reason why the attendance was down. And lastly, our poll question today is, should CFL salaries be published? And 74% of respondents, our viewers, say yes. Willie Jefferson, however, last hour said no. I'm not sure what Nick said. What would you vote?
I would vote yes, to be honest. I think that's just part of the game. As a professional athlete, you're a public figure, and this public record is always public. So I feel like, if the NFL guys could sign a contract in there, and you could go online and figure out what their contract is, and any other professional sport, you can go online and find out what a player is making. I don't see why there should be any difference with CFL players, but I guess just being there with a guy who got a big contract before, I understand that the optics of it is that when you get a big contract, it comes with certain expectations, and some people don't want to have, added pressure to them, or some people don't want people to know, or they don't want their family to know how much money they're making because someone's going to be calling them asking for something. Like, it's a whole lot of stuff being a pro athlete that probably rises into guys not wanting their salary to be public. But honestly, I think it's just part of the game. I don't see why it wouldn't be put out there, because someone's going to find out regardless whether it's public information or not. Everybody has friends that are in front offices or friends that's, connected some way that could get any type of information that they need to get. So I don't see what's the point. You might as well just make it public.
Great answer. And lastly, Joe Lazito's watching on Long Island. He says, welcome back, Rod. Because I was in Cabo for a week, Derek, just so you know. And he says, just want to say welcome home to Derek. So he's saying welcome home to the tri-state area. So, Joe, you got to get out to the games, man. You got to get out and watch the Guardians. And Derek, obviously, we're following very closely, so continued success. And I appreciate the time here today.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Hold it down, man. Be great.
Yes, sir. You know it.
Derek Dennis joining us from his car.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.